Good morning. Well, it is Tuesday today. My name is Daniel McCrane with McCrane Associates, and small business owners come to us because they need some help with profitability, scalability, leaving a legacy in their business, and we've got some guarantees that we offer around that. So that's what we do at McCrane Associates. So today, thinking about helping you plan for how to get out of your business, what your exit plan might look like in the future. One of the things you need to think about maybe early on in the process would be, who do you think would be your successor? Who can take over for you? Especially if you're really hoping that this will be a family business that you can pass on to someone in the family. Start thinking about who that person could be who could take over for you. And the other thing that I would say is make sure you keep an open mind. The person that you think might be your successor today may have a life change of some point in the future. And there are different stages of life. People go through different stages. It could be that. It could be health related or anything else. And there are other people who you might write them off as a potential successor, but maybe they grow up and maybe they become responsible and they are the correct successor to take over for you. So keep an open mind when you're planning for who your successor is going to be. Now, here's another consideration about successors that you need to think about. What if you potentially have multiple successors? What if you have multiple kids that you want to make sure that they have something from the business when you get ready to leave? This can be kind of tricky because what if one or two of the kids are really, really interested in taking over, and maybe another one or several are not interested at all, don't want to have anything to do with the business? So, when you're making your plans, this is something that we can do at McCrane Associates. We can help you go through some of these alternatives. But keep this point in mind when you're making these kinds of plans. Fair does not always mean equitable, and vice versa, if that makes sense. So, the fair thing to do, let's say there are three kids, one is interested, the other two are not. The fair thing to do would be to divide the company up into thirds and everybody gets a third. Even though two of the kids aren't interested, one really wants the business, right? That's fair. But is that equitable? Because one kid is really interested, the other two don't care. So you have to balance that out a little bit and determine what's fair and what's equitable. And sometimes equitable is a better choice than fair. For example, I know of a business where dad built up a business, owned the land, the warehouse, the building, and everything where the business was, and decided that he was going to split things between his two sons. He gave one son the business, he gave the other son the land, thinking the son with the business would pay rent to the son with the land, so there'd be income for both of them. He thought that was the right thing to do. Well, after dad passed away, the brothers had a falling out. The brother with the business moved to a different location, leaving the brother with the land and the property without income. He found something to do with the land and the warehouse, of course, but the whole idea was that they would work together. They would be family, working in the same location together. So that's the only thing I'll say. Just keep in mind that fair is not always equitable, and vice versa when you're talking about multiple successors. So, if you want to talk about that, if you've got any questions, if you want to sit down, have a chat, feel free to reach out to me, of course. Best way to do that would be give me a call, send me an email, number and email right there on the screen for you. And we can talk through some different options and see what we can come up with. So, I'm going to end right there with that, everyone.